Winnie the Pooh and the Garden of Friendship, Chapter 1. Oh, bother. The stormy surprise. It was a blustery day in the 100 Acre Wood. The wind whooshed and swirled, making the trees dance and the leaves whirl. Oh, dear, said Piglet, holding onto his scarf as it flapped wildly. Pooh Bear peeked out from his window, his tummy rumbling. I do hope this wind isn't strong enough to blow away my honey, he mumbled, tapping his head. Think, think, think. I should check my honey jars. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the woods. Pooh waddled out to see what had happened and gasped. Rabbit's garden, his pride and joy, was ruined. The hurricane had swept away the vegetables and scattered the carrots everywhere. Rabbit stood in the middle of the mess, looking distraught. My garden, my precious carrots. Gone, cried Rabbit. Oh, bother, said Pooh sympathetically. That's very sad, Rabbit. Tigger bounced up and down. Don't you worry, Rabbit. Hoo 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 hoo. We'll fix it up bigger and better. Piglet nodded nervously. Why yes, Rabbit, we'll help you. Rabbit sniffled. You'd really do that for me? Of course, said Pooh, patting Rabbit on the shoulder. That's what friends are for. But first, I might need a smackerel of honey to get started. Chapter 2. The garden teamwork plan. Christopher Robin gathered everyone under a shady tree. All right, friends. Let's work together and make Rabbit's garden the best it's ever been. Splendid idea, said Owl, adjusting his glasses. With my knowledge of botanical principles and teamwork, we'll have carrots sprouting in no time. Gopher popped up from a hole. We'll need some solid construction here. Let's dig some good soil trenches. Whistle. And plant those seeds right. Rabbit perked up. Oh, yes. And don't forget the watering cans. Tigger grinned. I'll be in charge of the bouncing. Gotta bounce the dirt nice and soft. Does bouncing really help, Tigger? Asked Piglet, his ears flapping in the breeze. Of course, Piglet. Bouncing helps everything, Tigger declared, springing into the air. Chapter 3. The funniest garden build ever. The friends got to work. Pooh dug little holes for the carrot seeds, but he accidentally buried a honey jar instead. Oh, bother, he muttered as he pulled it out. This is not where honey belongs. Piglet watered the flowers, but got so excited that he watered his own feet. Oh, dear. Now I'm soggy, he squeaked. Tigger bounced so high that he landed in the pile of compost. Hoo 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 hoo. I'm a compost champion, he laughed, covered in leaves. Rabbit sighed but smiled. You're all a bit silly. But thank you. Meanwhile, Roo and Kanga were planting rows of daisies and sunflowers along the edges of the garden. Look, Mama, Roo giggled, pointing at a butterfly that landed on a daisy. It likes the flowers already. Owl flew overhead, inspecting the work. Excellent progress. You see, my friends, it's all about precision and purpose. Chapter 4. The Heffalump Helpers. Just as they finished planting, there was a rustling sound in the bushes. Oh, dear, whispered Piglet. What was that? Out of the bushes stepped a heffalump and a wuzzle, looking shy but curious. Are you building something new? The heffalump asked in a soft voice. Why, yes, said Pooh, stepping forward. We're rebuilding Rabbit's garden after the storm. The wuzzle sniffed the air. It smells like fresh honey and flowers. Christopher Robin smiled warmly. Would you like to help us? The heffalump and wuzzle exchanged glances, then nodded. We'd love to. Soon, the heffalump was carrying heavy watering cans with ease, and the wuzzle was planting rows of flowers. Who knew heffalumps and wuzzles could be such great gardeners, said Tigger, bouncing by. They're actually quite helpful, said Rabbit, surprised but pleased. Chapter 5. The grand opening of the garden. After a full day of work, the garden was complete. Sunflowers swayed in the breeze, rows of carrots stood tall, and colorful flowers lined the path. A new trellis, built by Gopher, was covered in climbing vines. Rabbit looked around with wide eyes. It's perfect, he whispered. Pooh's tummy growled loudly. Oh, bother. I think it's time for a smackerel of something sweet. Christopher Robin laughed. Let's have a garden party to celebrate. They laid out a picnic with honey sandwiches, fresh fruit, and vegetable stew. Tigger bounced over to the new trellis. Hoo 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 hoo. This is the bounciest garden ever. Piglet sipped some lemonade and smiled. It's the prettiest garden I've ever seen. Rabbit nodded, his heart full of gratitude. I couldn't have done it without all of you. Christopher Robin stood up and raised his cup to friendship and teamwork. Everyone cheered. To friendship and teamwork. Chapter 6. The Lesson of the Garden. As the stars twinkled above, Pooh looked around at his friends. Funny how fixing a garden can grow something even more important, he said thoughtfully. What's that, Pooh? Asked Piglet. Friendship. Pooh replied with a smile. That's the wisest thing you've ever said, silly old bear, Christopher Robin said as he gave Pooh a warm hug. And as they laughed and shared stories under the moonlit sky, the 100-acre wood felt warmer, brighter, and full of life once more. Moral of the story: no matter how hard the storm, friendship, kindness, and teamwork can rebuild what was lost and make it even more beautiful. The end.